Good day, everybody. My name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the CoffeeCast Procast Edition. And this is game number 5 between igJim, who is the blue Protoss, in the lower left-hand corner of Derelict Watcher. On the top right-hand side, it is going to be MarineKing Prime. It's our red Terran player. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, this is the same map as game number 2. And game number 3 had the same map as game number 1. And yes, I am just as confused as you are about that. But I know that they're not the same game. I mean, game 1 and game 3 had different build orders, for 1. And 2, the spawn positions are different for between game 2 and game 4. So I'm thinking maybe this is 2 separate best of 3 series? I'm not certain. We'll have to find out here. Let's just go ahead and enjoy this one game as it is for the moment, though. We'll talk about that more at the end of the game. Let's see here. Pardon me, just got a fresh cup of coffee. Got to take a few sips. Got to love a fresh cup of coffee. So the last game, Jim did open up with that proxy gateway. Of course, that's probably not going to work 2 games in a row. So they're just going to be playing a little bit more standard and actually, you know, laying down a gateway in his own base here. And gas timing's pretty much pretty similar here. Standard as far as it goes. Looks like MarineKing is going to be going back towards that 15cc, which again, I mean, it's why not? It's pretty macro. I mean, he knows the risk of this. It's macro risky, but if you can get away with it like he did in game number 2, then you can get away with it. It must just kind of be his build for this map. So like I talked about in game number 2, my words need to slow down a little bit, apparently. Derelict Watcher is a great defensive map because you can force the engagement right here. Terrans have a little bit more leeway because they have the drops that can come into the back of the base and pull some of the army away, or, you know, drop off in this little peninsula area, pull the army away. But for the most part, the big engagements will generally happen right here between the natural base and the third base. Jim going to be getting scouted fairly shortly here, MarineKing, and for some reason, every time I say Jim, I always mean to say MarineKing, and I have to find a way to word myself around it, you know, Jim is about to be scouted instead of Jim is scouting. I don't know what my problem is with these 2 players. The 700 core has finished up, Mothership core coming on the way. Standard schmandard stuff coming out of Jim once again, and I can only assume that the next building that we have on the map is going to be, well, I don't know, we do have 2 gases on the field right now. I assume it's going to be a Nexus. That being said, it could be a Robotics, it could be a Twilight. I think a Twilight would be kind of weird, but we have been seeing a couple of Dark Templar openings out of Protoss players, but I feel if you're going for that, then you're not going to get the Mothership core, you're not going to get the Stalker, and you're going to have 3 guys on each gas. So, yeah, this is just going to be expansion. There's nothing else to it. I think he just wanted a little bit of extra gas to get some of the extra Stalkers out on the field to defend against Reaper openings, and the Mothership core also great against that. Is going to be able to push out a little bit aggressively as well. He does not yet know that Jim did 15cc, but it's going to work out quite nicely for him if he does decide to push up in here. Could potentially snipe off a couple of SCVs, maybe a mule. We do have 2 Marines out on the map. 3 racks are now, well, almost completed. That last one's almost done here, and it is going to be a Stargate, so probably going to be seeing oracles out of Jim. Going to be able to pick off 1 SCV. It's going to delay that supply depot from finishing up, which is annoying. A nice time warp going down on top of these Marines, going to make it difficult to micro around. But losing that Zealot pretty darn quickly there. That Mothership core could die off as well. He is going to be able to save that, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. And now he has free reign over these SCVs. The next 2 Marines going to be coming down the ramp. But for the most part, I think that this attack has paid off for Jim. He was able to pick off, what, 4 or 5 SCVs? 4 SCVs. He was able to delay that supply depot down in the natural, which, hey, good guy Jim. He stops the supply depot from building, but he also lowered the supply count of his opponent, so his opponent can continue making stuff. What an awesome guy. Even forcing the cancel on that, which is just so annoying for MarineKing. And while I can't believe that this orbital is going to die, it's going to be annoying that it's just taking health damage for so long. Even going to lift that off now. Stop the Mothership core at least from attacking. Jim going to be pushing up the ramp here, but I can't imagine he's going to go too far with this many Marines up on top of the ramp. Factory going to be built off as well. The SCVs being pulled down to help engage the army of Jim. But Jim, happy with the damage he's done, is going to just fall back home and rely on his Oracle to do a little bit of follow-up damage as well. Stim pack just starting up, +1 weapons just starting up as well. Similar positioning for that engineering bay every game as well. I don't know if that's any sort of big deal, but I just kind of think it's interesting that he's putting it in the same spot. I mean, the way I play is like, oh, I'm gonna throw a gateway, like here, and it's like, oh, maybe a Stargate over here. Let's put the robotics like out in the middle of the freaking map just because I can. Oracle, I don't think he's going to get scattered. There's really nothing on the field to be able to, I don't know, move out across the map and see that Oracle moving straight through the middle of the map. He's going to come in, skirt around the edges of this base. MarineKing still doesn't know about it. Just now catching wind of it. Stim pack not yet done, which is going to make it fairly difficult to defend against this Oracle, who's gotten 3 kills. Might even get 4. Yes, he did manage to pick up the 4th. Oh, not able to pick up the 5th. That is a lot of Marines down there. Oracles can kill off a lot of Marines too. But he just, I mean, that's just too many. That would just instantly die. And it looks like there is going to be another Oracle coming into the natural expansion as well. Second Oracle going to be able to kill off 1 SCV. I don't know if he's going to be able to quite get the second. Where are the Marines? They are down at the bottom of the base. And it's probably going to be the signal. No, actually, it's not going to be the signal because this Oracle is going to be coming back up into the main base, picking off 1 more SCV, almost getting a second one. I think that was just a little bit of a misclick there. But unfortunately, going to be losing that Oracle. Second Oracle still alive, though. That was quite a few more kills. We are up to 12 worker kills now for Jim. It's going to put our harvester count at 44 over 25. That is a pretty bad position here for MarineKing to be in. He does have mules, though, which is going to help a little bit. And thankfully for him, he does still have that second command center. The Oracle going to be coming. Oh, my goodness. MarineKing actually pushing out. Jim has a great opportunity to do some more damage here. But MarineKing going to pull back to the defense of the missile turret. And this is just a lot of bio army on the field. Remember, up to this point, a lot of Jim's supply has just been in those Oracles. It's been a lot of harassment capabilities. We are going up into that Phoenix play that we've been seeing in this matchup. The Phoenix is to deal with the Medivacs and the Vikings, and then you get Colossus out on the map, and they just, obviously do their Colossi thing. But there's nothing really on the field right now immediately for Jim to defend with. He has that 1 Colossus just starting up, but I don't know, that could be a little bit late. The photon overcharge is going down, which is going to make it very difficult for MarineKing to break up in here. Oh, that Medivac looks so juicy to these Phoenixes. I don't think he's going to quite get the opportunity to pick that off, though. The Oracle even being pulled back home. So that's a nice little bit of knowledge for MarineKing to pick up. He knows that his mineral lines are not going to be in danger for quite some time. 3 Phoenixes out on the map. 4th one going to be finishing up fairly shortly as well. He needs to keep these Phoenixes back home. I love that he is currently scouting around for drops. Does he know that his opponent's army is right outside his base? He actually can see everything but that fact right now. And it looks like, oh man, MarineKing just waiting for that photon overcharge to finish up. But in the meantime, that first Colossus is out on the map. The second one being made as well. Even a 5th Phoenix going to be joining the fray fairly shortly here. There is 1 Viking on the map that's going to help out, but I don't know how much it's going to help out. Needs to be so careful. Great micro by MarineKing so far. Picking off a few zealots, only taking a couple shots from that Colossus. Going to be pushing on up. That photon overcharge wore off, but the second one has gone down on the Nexus. There's quite a few zealots here, but they're absolutely melting to the +1 bio. But here come the Phoenixes, going to be lifting off quite a few Marines. And Phoenixes versus Hydras are great. And you know what's also great? Phoenixes versus Marines when you're being able to lift them off like that. And Jim repelled that without a problem. I don't even think that he lost a single Colossus. Yeah, he lost a lot of Zealots, but that's not the biggest deal in the world. We can still see MarineKing behind in that unit's loss counter. And ooh, yay, new tab. 25 Marines have died. That is just so many. He lost the vast majority of this force. I think he lost that Medivac as well. Actually, I didn't check for that. Yeah, he lost both the Medivacs and that Viking, which is a pretty big deal, especially when you're behind on that economy. It's so difficult. I mean, that's a lot of gas that you're losing. The Oracle is actually back over into the main base now, going to be able to halt the construction on that 3rd command center and on that next barracks as well. Need to be careful not to get too close to that missile turret. Picking up a few more SCV kills and even dropping down a Revelation, which is just awesome. Able to get the, oh my goodness, apparently you can put Revelation on a building. That I did not know, to be quite honest. And I'm surprised that, gosh, I need a unit here. I'm surprised, okay, no, he can just see that building. He cannot see around the building. I assume that he can see what's building at the building as well. I was going to say, I was surprised that he was putting these buildings so close by. That Oracle, by the way, still in position to be just kind of a little bit annoying. I know Day 9 actually did a daily recently about the Phoenix Colossus play, and I've been meaning to check that out. I actually have it loaded up on an alternate browser right now, just kind of sitting there waiting to go. And I'm curious to see how it works out here. I mean, Jim is actually just in a great position so far in this game. The Oracle going back into the main base, getting even more kills once again. My gosh, the Oracle is going to die now. Able to get one last SCV kill, not quite able to get the second last SCV kill as well. The only thing Jim is behind in right now is upgrades, but he's getting double forges, and you literally cannot beat a Protoss player in upgrades if he decides to go double forge with double Chrono Boost. I mean, that's just, it just goes faster than your own upgrades. So Jim is going to be catching up fairly quickly with the +1 weapons, but I believe research has been halted for the moment. MarineKing now on 1-1. MarineKing going to be taking a third base. The third base for Jim up and running, and as strong as I have ever seen a third base for any Protoss player. In a great position right now. These Phoenixes all kind of clumped up down here. I think he's continuing Phoenix production. That is so many Phoenixes right now on the map, but once again, they are for both the Vikings and the Medevacs, and of course the Graviton Beam. Kind of nice once you get into the big engagements towards the end of the game, especially, I don't know if you're able to pick up the Ghost that well. It sounds like it'd be difficult, but picking up Marines, always good for that as well. It's a very micro-intensive strategy, but I can definitely see this paying out. Extended Thermal Lance going to be finishing up shortly. Air Weapons level 1 even coming onto the field, just showing the true commitment to this huge number of Phoenixes that are now going out across the map. That is what, 11 Phoenixes right now? I can't even imagine having that many Phoenixes. And a PvT going to be coming over here, harassing the mineral line further, and all of these units going to die just so freaking quickly. Factory in the middle of the map going to spot one Phoenix coming across the map a little bit too late. That Marine going to die instantly. Oh, I don't think that he can afford to engage that. No, he can't. And we can just see the speed of the Phoenixes there going to be backing out. Hallucinated Phoenix going to jump into the natural expansion there. But now Jim knows that there is this third base on the field. He sees the composition, and if he was lucky enough, he had a chance to see the upgrades as well. And that looked like just kind of a bad misrally there. But I mean, considering the fact that he only lost a couple of Phoenixes, you get a few more SCV kills, secure his economy lead even more, and get a nice scout off. I'd say, heck yes, that is worth it. Now he can even push out and take out this factory if he so desires. In fact, there's really no reason to not take out that factory, especially after revealing the sheer number of Phoenixes he has on the map. Oh no, he's actually going to reveal his entire army, which I think is kind of interesting. Trying to pull the Colossus factory, which does not reveal that Colossus count. So, I mean, MarineKing sees the army on the ground, and again, if he was lucky, he was able to see the upgrades of his opponent. 2-2 going to finish up for MarineKing a little bit before the 2-2 for our Protoss player, Jim. Charge coming out on the field as well. Anion Pulse Crystals. Jim, I mean, once his 2-2 finishes up, I think that he's pretty much good to go. He's going to be maxed out fairly shortly here. The number of Colossus on the field is just, well, colossal. Somebody please kill me for that one. 12 Phoenixes on the field, quite a bit as well. 17 Charge Dogs on the ground to be the meat of the force. I would love to see like a Templar archive or something on the map. I'm not seeing that right now. It looks like, are we going to be getting +2 air weapons? We do have the Fleet Beacon, which I do think that Fleet Bacon, yes I did say bacon because bacon is delicious, is mainly for the Anion Pulse Crystals. And I mean, +2 range is huge. Normally, I mean, units that get the +1 range upgrade, like the Hydralisk, that's a pretty big deal as well. He is continuing to produce Phoenix. He's almost up to 16 Phoenix at this point, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Again, I can't even imagine having that many Phoenixes on the map, but look at how many Vikings he's forced the production of. And I feel like a tech switch over into Templar, if this initial army does fail, would be so powerful. Those Vikings, when they land on the ground, though, just rip through through Zealot lines. I could not think of that word. Rip through Zealot lines. So this, oh man, it looks like we're actually going to be having the big engagement right here, right now. The Vikings are going to be engaging, and it looks like, I don't know if he's focusing down the Colossus or not. It's kind of difficult to see. There is just so much going on right now, but it looks like the Zealots are getting melted away. The charge has finished, getting another weapon of Zealots. The Phoenix is dying off very quickly to the Viking fire, and there's nothing left on the ground to be able to help pick off the Vikings. But, I mean, all the charge off left on the ground. A few Stalkers are warped in as well now. And it looks like Jim actually pushing MarineKing all the way back. To be honest, I'm not even certain what happened in that engagement there. The Vikings are going to be slowly but surely picked off by the Stalkers here. The Remacro Stalkers are going to be very powerful. But really, there's just not that much left on the field for MarineKing to defend with. I'm going to have to go back and watch that engagement after this game is over. Jim going to be pushing up near the third base. There we go, pushing up into the third base now. And this third base, why is he, I don't know why he just doesn't, I guess he doesn't want to commit all the way up into this area, just in case MarineKing gets into a nice position to be able to flank him. That being said, I think that he's missing out on a nice, juicy opportunity to kill off those mules and SCVs right there. But it looks like he's got MarineKing right where he wants him. Jim pushing in there. The Stalkers unfortunately blocking the Zealots from the back. They do not have blink, so they can't get out of the way. All of the Colossus is just going to get completely destroyed, but guess what's left? The entire army of Jim. Chargelot and Archon even joining the fray. A lot of Stalkers, and I think this is going to be it for Marine King. Jim, I think, is going to pull this to 2-2, pushing up into that natural expansion. There's nothing left to defend with for Marine King, and this, oh yeah, this is absolutely it. There's a small contingency of Bio in the back here. The SCVs trying to join the fray, trying to block the Chargelot from getting back there. It is not going to be enough. Jim has got this game hammered down on the head. And again, it all came down to that one big engagement. I'm not exactly sure how Jim won that. I think the Colossus just plain flat out stayed alive too long. That natural command center falling as well. Jim pushing up into the main base because he can at this point. And even that full medevac dying off to really kind of solidify that. Where did my timer go? What? Where the heck is my timer in this game? Well, apparently I will not be going back to watch that engagement. I think I hit it by hitting a hotkey at some point in time somehow. That is new. Well, that was quite astounding out of Jim, to be quite honest. I was not expecting 16 Phoenixes and 6 Colossus to be able to break through that army of Marine King, but he showed us in that game, and I'm going to be honest, the site that I downloaded these from, I hate to tell you guys, there's no Game 5. There's no Game 5. I can go double check real fast here for you, but as far as I know, that's it for what I get to cast for you guys. See, StarCraft, that's where I downloaded it from. Yep, that is absolutely it. There is no Game 5 uploaded to this site. So, apparently the winner of this series was Jim. Apparently Jim wins game number 5. I apologize, I can't show that to you guys. But it was pretty awesome to be able to actually sit down and do a procast again. Everybody's out of the house. And if you guys watch Amateur Attack, you know, I'm already set up in the basement. It's Wednesday now. I just haven't pulled my stuff back up to the normal computer room. But I figured since I'm already kind of down in my little casting area, I may as well cast. And you can tell with the glasses, I'm still in morning mode. I don't have my contacts in yet. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and jump offline. Again, thank you guys for watching today. I'm sorry I couldn't do anything but babble in that last big engagement. I have no idea what went on still. That's going to be something I'm going to have to go back and watch the daily for and watch this replay like 3 or 4 times to figure it out. Make sure to subscribe and follow. That information is down in the description. Also, I have a button probably somewhere on this screen to help you guys out with that. Until next time, guys, this is Coffee Break, signing out. Cheers.